Are you ready?
We are live on the mic with our host DJ Deuce and Bamboo Bam.
Bam!
Let's get this show started.
Yo, if you don't know me yet, I'm DJ Deuce with my partner over here, Bamboo Bam. What's up, Bam?
What up, people? What's happening? Chilling, brother. What's happening?
Everything's good, man. I was talking to you backstage, and, the Clash TV situation is getting a little closer. This episode will be uploaded on Clash TV within the next week. We should be going live by March 18th. Guys, even I was impressed with the app when it first came out, and when I was talking to the developers, it's nowhere near what it's going to be. I'm mind blown. Like, I wish you were on the phone with me, Bam. It was one of those shit. Damn. You don't want to act too surprised. Like, you want to be like too excited, but it was definitely one of those moments. I really like that. It was really dope. But today we have a special guest. Because, me and Bam, Bam's fake facts. I'm semi-facts. We don't really... Bam makes me do my homework after he tells me all these lies on the podcast. You know what I mean?
True facts.
Fuck that. That's all lies. But we have a man here to explain to us more how you can make money on an NFT and what exactly is an NFT. You know what?
Yes.
Let's not make him wait. Let's get him here. Dan, how's it going, Dan? How you doing, brother?
Good. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Good.
Man, pleasure, bro. I've been,
good.
Since you hit me up, I've been following you on Instagram. You're also, definitely, you're an entertaining guy, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, by the way. People follow him, bro. You're doing
I
a
really
great job.
appreciate you. Yeah, trying to bring that energy and good vibes, always.
You have to, because if you come in there, no one's listening, right? But you catch it. I'm listening. I'm like, this is a good guy. This is a good guy to follow, man.
I appreciate you, dudes.
So NFTs, you know what I mean? How did you first even hear about it?
Yeah, so I was always kind of working blue-collar jobs and doing music on the side. And about 7 months ago, a friend and now partner of mine, Matt McKeever, kind of mentioned NFTs and that he had collected a few and knew that I did music and kind of suggested I look a little bit further under the hood of what can these do and how can I maybe couple that with my music. So about 7 months ago, Matt kind of turned me on to him.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Because we're old, right? Me and Bam are old, so we're scared.
Talk for yourself, man. I'm only 24.
Bam's older, but
24. I just been in the house. I'll be outside too. I'll be outside.
What's old anymore?
For me, it's do you want me to tell you what's older? When you're scared of the new. That's when you know you're old.
Hey, you must not be too scared. I'm here, right? Talking about NFTs.
Man, I'm just at that brink of fear and wanting to learn, right? So so for me, it's as an artist, you're talking about you're in the music business, right? I always get feared of me and Bam were the days where you used to pop out a CD out of your trunk. It was, you know what I mean? It was pressed and he sold it for $10 CD, go to a show. And as much as that people would say it sucked, the grind was great. And if you sold enough CDs throughout the night, you made some decent money, right?
For sure.
And then it went to streaming where it got a lot easier, but then, it got bombarded with music. But what's the difference between pressing a CD, streaming, and an NFT?
The major difference is with NFTs, it's basically putting your artwork, whatever it is, music, visual, anything, onto the blockchain, which is a living ledger that is public for all to see. So the major difference, and I'll use your example of pressing CDs, selling them out of your trunk. The major difference here is that each of those press CDs or NFTs is now traceable. So those day one supporters that purchase those CDs from your trunk, I know who they are. I can track where those have gone, what wallets they've landed in, and I can basically reward those people for supporting me early on. So if I blow up, I can look back and I know who the very first person that purchased it was based on that blockchain traceability and that public ledger. So when you tie it back to something physical, it has kind of similar vibes, but you can take it a step further. You can hustle each one of these NFTs, but then in the future, like I say, look back and take a snapshot of all those supporters that have bought your stuff.
I like that because the way you explain it, because it's true. I could buy a CD from you, throw it in the back of my seat, and never listen to it. Right? So I like that. I like that. The fact that you can still reward the supporters. I love that.
For
sure. You know what? And knowing that you're probably going to do that as an artist is probably going to be it's rewarding to get your NFT now, right?
Absolutely. It gives the supporter more value down the line. And again, especially if a lot of day one supporters, they truly believe that this person is going to do something. They're investing in the person, not just the art. And with this, it gives even more opportunity to actually reap some of the rewards that person is actually, could potentially see in the future. So if myself, for example, blows up makes a big hit record and really gets on the radar of some major labels and things like that, all of a sudden I can turn around and see who these literally day one people that believed enough to give me a bit of their hard-earned bread and, you know, funnel some of this newfound fame or wealth or whatever it may be into those holders and give some value back to them.
I love that. I love that. What do you think about that, Bam?
I think it's nice. I'm wondering, how do you give value back to them in that sense, right?
For sure. And you could do a whole plethora of things, especially utilizing that technology further. So say you have a in real life event, you could use that NFT, whichever, you know, your Genesis first launch, as the ticket. So unless you're holding that actively still, you can't attend this free event, maybe even an open bar. Like you could go full out for these people and really have a celebration. And if the day one supporter maybe even chose to sell it down the line, it's now that new holder that gets to see that value.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it's kind of transferable value as well. So say you just come upon maybe harder times and you're like, yo, I need to liquidate. I need some cash. Somebody could be there waiting to be like, yo, I want those rewards. I want the value that person's giving now. And NFTs can make that all possible.
Okay. So you pretty much cutting out everybody in the mix. It's you and the supporter.
Exactly.
You can reward them any way you want to. Nice.
And vice versa, right? When they purchase your project, any NFT, they're supporting that artist and that creator one for one. Like you see every dollar, there's no label or middleman or anybody to step on it. It's just one-to-one, whichever way that value is flowing.
Nice.
I love that. Because you're right. You're because you know what? Back in the day, even if you had 1 million supporters and they bought all your albums, you have no idea who bought what.
There's no way you'll ever track it. And
Nothing.
you know, I'm sure there's some large celebrities and stars out there that wish that they could.
Yes.
Because of where they're at now and how humility they have, how grateful they are for how far they've come to be able to look back. And the first people that, you know, bought that press CD out of your trunk back
That's right. You have
in the day, you can actually look to that person and be like, yo, I want to like share in this, whether it's monetarily or through an experience, something that's no one else can get.
You're right. Because I remember even as a nightclub promoter, I'd see people come in every single night for like maybe 10 weeks. And I looked at them, I said, you're never paying again. Yeah, you know what I mean? You're never paying again. And I'm going to call a few other bars and you're going in there for free because what you did for me for 10 weeks straight. You know what I mean? So I know how it is that, you know what I mean? They support you, you get them back. And now they come in, they get in for free and they brought in 5 extra friends, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And some people love to feel, let's be realistic. People love feeling
special,
important, special. It's a great feeling.
You're right.
What do you think gifts are, right? Like you open a gift, it's a great feeling. And that's what you can do to your supporters, right? I love that. So now tell me you. So you said, okay, I want to do this with my music. How'd you get started? Like, where did you look? Where'd you learn this knowledge?
For sure. I definitely suggest anyone that's looking to find more out about NFTs, whether you're a creator, a collector, or investor, start poking around on Twitter and on Discord. Definitely seem to be the main hubs for all of the information being swapped hands around NFTs, Web3, and DeFi. But the way I kind of really stumbled into, again, coupling my music with this technology was from some custom songs I had done early on for some NFT communities that already existed. I had seen them through my research and been like, okay, these are kind of the big guys. These are the ones that are making noise in the space when I first got in. Right. So I tried to provide some value by making like a custom song about their project and their community and really speaking to it like a theme song. And through some of those, I actually made some sales early on and was able to sell some of my music for the highest ticket price I've ever seen, you know, from streaming a cumulative over 10 years in one sale. So that was a huge eye opener. And from there, I was instantly kind of hooked on not only the monetary, but again, the community, the way you can look back on those supporters, the way those supporters can help you right out of the gate. And just obviously the new fancy technology, and it's booming. It's kind of the up and coming thing. So for all of those reasons, I kind of said, I'm done with my regular job. I teamed up full time with Matt and we kind of partnered in on Project LB52, which is an NFT production company. And that stemmed into our first collection, which is Space Monkey Fight Club. And that's actually the first custom made for you song NFT project. So it's a custom made song with an avatar membership. And each holder gets all commercial rights to all the artwork, sorry. So you can use your song and your avatar to monetize, license, do whatever you want going forward.
Nice. No, because sorry, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, once somebody buy your stuff and then they decide to sell it, do you still reap rewards from that transaction or not?
Good question. There is, with every smart contract, which all NFTs are built upon, there is room for the creator to build in a royalty. So in our case, we have built in a royalty. Most do. It's just what amount you go at that seems to be kind of the subject of conversation. Seems like, anything below 10 is tasteful, and depends what type of art it is. But we basically take a 5.2% on the song and a 2.5 on our artwork, and it's just retroactive. So every sale that transfers, there's always like a little bit of a royalty, which again is just nice for creators in the space.
Gotcha. Keep it going, keep it moving.
Yeah, you sell it once, at least you don't lose it all, right?
Yeah,
So,
keep it funded, keep it going. Yeah, okay.
For sure. And
see-
especially in the case of my project, where you're getting all these rights to all this artwork, and we're basically bowing out of any monetary, gain going forward. This allows there to be some sort of a trailer on, the swapping hands and stuff of like tokens going forward and things like that. But like I say, it's really great for the creators in the space, people like me, artists, to just get a little bit of residual income off that artwork.
Gotcha.
I like that. Now, you've been doing your own type of music, right? You've been doing music. Now, do you find because me and Bam always have these arguments before NFTs, for instance, about being independent artists and being signed to a major record label. All right. Before NFTs, which one would you rather have picked?
I like the framing of that question, because it's situational, right? It does change.
Absolutely.
I think beforehand, there's no argument. My mind, without knowing what it knows now, would have geared toward, I'd take a deal, because that's just the written path. It seems predetermined for most artists, but this has definitely changed everything. So,
I agree, because like you were saying, streaming money is bullshit money. Let's be very real, everyone. Like, that's why when I was talking to independent artists, like, I'd rather be independent. I'm like, and gain what? Fractions of pennies?
Yeah.
Like, I did some math. It was a million streams on a certain platform was $3,500. If I had 1 million streams, I'd be jumping up and down and be like, holy fuck, this is a great milestone.
Yep.
And that check is fucking nothing. It's nothing. You know
In
what
the
I mean?
grand scheme of things, yeah.
Well, I've always had fuck a deal. You know what I mean? Because it's all about your royalties and your ownership in the end, right?
Exactly.
Because, a lot of people that
Yeah,
took
but
a deal,
royalties of 0.0 though.
a lot of people that took the deal, made a lot of money, fell off, and then all of a sudden they're sitting back old, and their music is still
And
being
famous,
played.
and they could have did something about it. That was my argument.
I think there's a balance, right? It's what you do with the deal, and if you get really chained to it, about reading the fine print and what the deal entails. And most deals are probably very, poor for the artist.
Of course.
But the artist will never. The artist is never going to tell you that he bought 15 Lamborghinis and a $50 million mansion, and then he's broke. No, he never never brings that up. He never brings up that he says the record label stole all his money, but realistically, he spent most of it too.
Well, no, realistically, the label stole his money because he's sitting there at 50 years old, and his song is being played, and he's not receiving no money from it.
But if you're famous, why don't you do something yourself, like get on fucking America's Got Talent or some shit like that? That's my point. You're famous, you could be a fucking judge on something, or you know what I mean? Like,
if you start a company, you're supposed to keep rewarding yourself. You're supposed to keep reaping them rewards, regardless. You understand? It doesn't matter if you created something.
Don't get me wrong. It's totally wrong to get nothing.
Somebody else shouldn't come in and say, "Here's a lot of money, and we're not going to give you jack shit about it." You see what I'm saying? Later on, it just sucks. If they would have kept giving them royalties and not stealing their back end.
What if you were 50 and still broke? Would you not take a record deal?
Yeah,
Again, situational.
At that age, shit, you know what I mean? You're going to take the money, enjoy the money, and you're dead. But you're 24. You don't know better. I get it, right? You know?
Yeah, no, you don't want to give me that much money at 24. Trust me.
That's why you're buying 20 Lamborghinis. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You don't worry. You'd have a couple of mine too. See, you wouldn't complain. But then, with the as NFTs, okay. Now my question was like, do you find now, because this is what I found with streaming music. It was so accessible to everyone to put their music out there. And it kind of got washed up, right? Could the NFT scenario be the exact same thing eventually?
It very well could be.
Yeah.
You know, just because of it's one of those things where everyone's just, I think, in the future going to flock to. Maybe not this day, but you know, in the coming months and years, I think it's going to become a lot more trafficked, and there is possibility for that. I think what's going to set the big movers and shakers apart is what's being offered and the value and utility and how unique it is. Just like in what they call Web 2, which, you know, www era, just regular websites. Yeah. Now we're moving into Web 3 with, you know, connectivity to your Web 3 wallet and cryptocurrency.
That's right.
It's usually the same conversation. You got to have something that stands out from the market if you want to succeed. Everything isn't rewarded, even if it seems like that early on, because we all see the news headlines with crypto and things like that. It seems shiny. It seems like everything's a W, but as it gets more saturated, like you asked, it's definitely got the potential to get, you know, just that saturated. But again, if you set yourself apart and maybe even are early, like myself, I hope you can, you know, get a good strong footing in the space and hopefully not let that wave take you over.
Now, what would you recommend an up-and-coming artist, young guy? What would he have to do to set himself apart? What would you recommend to him?
I think NFTs is a really good start, or even just a lane within it. You know, my thing was custom songs and really finding a lane and finding a voice within these communities that existed, and kind of piggybacking off of the organic, again, community that they already had. But that might not be the right recipe for every artist. I think looking in, doing your research into Web3, NFTs, DeFi, and how all of this stuff could fit with maybe your current offering, like what you already do. You know, maybe you do live music and that's your main squeeze. So you want to build a way to have almost like a infinite ticket. So if this person purchases this NFT for a high price, they can come to every show you ever do. Something like that. Again, it's just about using the technology to kind of fit the puzzle you've already maybe created up until this point.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's right.
Because don't get me wrong, when we first chatted about NFT, might have been a few months ago, I was always like, you know, I knew they could send you, you know, like, I don't know. I know if someone bought an NFT, you also got tickets, or you end up getting something else, some hard copy or something. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, not everyone probably could afford to do that. But the thing is, giving out some tickets to some free show really doesn't really cost you anything out of your own pocket, right? So locally they can support you, and you can still support them. Now you're really convincing me about the NFTs. That this is why I needed this.
I see that. But now, are you putting on the shows yourself so you can make that available? Because if you're doing a show for someone else, you know, he's going to have a problem with the fact that you got 10,000 people coming for free. You know
I see what you mean. Absolutely. And I think the way that NFTs work is that they kind of grow as you get the capital. So say if a couple people did actually take on that higher ticket price, they bought the NFT, you would have some capital, and the expectation from those supporters would be for that to go towards what you've promised. And if it doesn't, just like any relationship, it's going to fall off and your business is going to fail. And very early on, people will learn, maybe not somebody I want to continue to support and do business with.
I get it. So you're going to have to make sure to do all of that, make all them steps happen.
But Bam,
for sure.
Bam, but and the way he's explaining it too is if you could probably again cut out that middleman as of a promoter.
Yes, you can.
If you have those supporters already.
Or you could even pay your promoter with, you know, giving him the knowledge. This is the way I've structured this. You're getting the price tag for getting this show organized, getting the venue, all of these things. Well, but I have specific means about how people will get admission.
Right. As we're talking about it, I'm seeing both sides of it, because it can help the promoter in the sense of he would definitely have a full venue regardless of the fact. So anytime beyond
Bam,
that
what would you do as a promoter?
Good point, Bam. Good Pam.
Bam, what if you would have came? So because I've done promoting, I've done a lot of promoting in my life. So Bam, what would you do if I came up to you and I was like, listen, I can probably fill up majority of this club. Most people are going to come in. How would you spin it? What would you do?
How would you spin it?
Like, how would you think about making money? Because I'm going to tell you what I would do.
Wherever you're putting the venue on at, the person that's letting you do this venue,
yes,
you know, you're guaranteeing them this place is going to be packed.
That's right.
So you just guaranteed yourself another venue with him. You
well, me personally, this is where you squeeze the percentage of bar sales. You know what I mean? Because that's what I used to do. I was greedier. I was making money at the door, but I mean,
hey, if it's justified, right? If, like you say, you got the place packed, it's bumping, people are buying drinks. It can be justified that you get some of that tab.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's
the doors opening. You know, as we talking about it, I'm seeing a lot of doors going boop, 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 open.
I'm so glad, man, because that's how it started with me, and it was just, I couldn't sleep the first couple nights because I was like, bro,
brain's going, right?
Yeah, man. There's so many opportunities and endless possibilities. And maybe just real quick, if you're okay with it, I'll give the real quick definition of what an NFT is, just for your audience and you guys. So
absolutely.
Non-fungible token is the full word, and it's so it really doesn't lead you to understand anything. But the word fungible itself means of likeness. They're mutually interchangeable. So like a dollar and a dollar are fungible. You can just interchange a dollar for a dollar.
That's right.
But a non-fungible token is something that's one of one. It's unique. It's one of a kind. So I always use like a real life example of like the Mona Lisa is valuable because it's the real Mona Lisa, and it can be proven that it's the real one. There's prints. There can be, screenshots. You can do whatever you want with it, but that will always be a diluted version of the real one. So the provenance of it being real is what creates the value. So again, it's not fungible with anything else. It can't really be swapped, interchanged with anything because it's one of a kind. But also, again, there's the provenance that it is the real one, and it can be proven through the blockchain ledger, again, which is public for everyone to see.
That's dope. Now, Dan, the day you decided to quit your day job, tell me what happened. What's going on?
Crazy day, man, and a great day. I like you should have had the conversation or been a fly on the wall for that conversation with my boss, because I was pretty transparent and I told him how it was. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be leaving to do music, and there's going to be an integration of like cryptocurrency and NFTs and all this new technology. And, kudos to him because he gave me his blessing. He's just like, obviously we can't hold you back, and like, hopefully you do great things. But I know everybody, and they still are in my family and my real life, are still kind of like, so what does he do?
Yeah.
What is it? What are NFTs and all that stuff? And I've really just leaned into that, and it gives me even more belief. The more kind of people scratch their head, I'm like, there's definitely something here. But it was a really great day, and really like just solidified my mindset. And this is the future. This is what I'm going to do. I'm dedicating the next like 5 years of my existence and my business life to doing NFTs, creating value for myself, but also people that, support me early on with purchasing my NFTs and jumping in our community and joining in the fun, because that's the one thing I'd say about this whole journey so far. Been a lot of fun.
That is crazy.
That's nuts,
See,
man.
Bam, are you scared of NFTs still?
No, not that much. You know what I mean? I just got to do my research, like it says. You know what I mean? Because you need to see how the financial bouncing back and forth, and just the little details in the back end, right? So
now,
absolutely,
Bam comes out a track tomorrow. How easy is it to just turn it into an NFT?
It's actually not as difficult as you might think. There's just a little bit of like groundwork that you need, and that groundwork is having a Web3 wallet. And you can do that super simply by just going to a website, metamask.io.
Okay.
And simply just follow their steps, walk through it. But you're creating basically a digital wallet that could hold your assets and your currency. So when you set it up, little disclaimer, make sure you're very, private. You want to keep your security phrase and your passwords all very private, because it's an asset that could grow in value, and you want to make sure it's safe and no one else has access to it. But once you have that Web3 wallet, it's as simple as just getting, depending on what you're trying to do, some funding in there, a little bit of cryptocurrency. It could be Ethereum, Matic, Solana. It just depends which blockchain you're trying to transact on. Once you got the wallet with a little bit of funding to pay kind of your gas fees and stuff, you can literally just go on to an OpenSea, a Rarible, which are all just platforms, and go through simple click steps. It's almost like posting an item on eBay or Kijiji.
Jesus Christ.
And I like to put it that way because it takes a lot of the fear away. It makes it comfortable. It's just like a little wizard where you upload your artwork. You upload, your song. It could be visual with some cover art. It could be a video. And you just upload that really quick. Put all your metadata, which it's referred to, the properties, everything that you want to bake into it. So it could be text saying what that NFT gets you, almost like a contract that other people can see. and then basically go to the bottom, click mint, click create, and it's launching a contract, an ERC 1155 in OpenSea's case, and makes an NFT for you.
Okay.
There's
I love it.
One little last thing is there's a lot more technical ways you can go about it. I will say that for anyone that's watching that has, a large Web3 inventory of knowledge, you can launch your own smart contract. You can spend a lot of money and do a large technical, more thorough endeavors, but to just get an NFT up of your song, it's not very difficult. And if you use, say, Polygon blockchain, it can be extremely cost effective for gas fees, like a few dollars.
Now, if I bought your music today, how do I, is it like, is it, see, and this is what's going to make me sound old. Is it an MP3? Like how do you play it?
Absolutely.
Shut up, Bam.
So it can dual. And like, I'm going to speak from the way my project's structured and the way I've structured my releases, because I can't speak for others. Yeah. But it's basically available in the Web3 sense. I can play the song directly in my wallet. Like when I'm on OpenSea, I can click play and it'll play the media. I can listen to it just like anywhere else. Obviously not extremely user-friendly. So we go one step further. Yeah. And within the NFT, there's unlockable content. So the only person that can see that content is the owner, the person that owns it and has it in their wallet. So through that gate, we'll call it, lies the song and the files, whatever you want them to have. Could be the full music video. They can download the MP4, the full quality file. They're going to get the WAV format. They're going to get the PNG cover format. So you can really put whatever you want behind some of that unlockable content. And again, there's more technical ways to go around gating things and making it beyond a wall of ownership. But that's some of the ways that, again, they can access your song just the way they would have used to. It's on their system. They can add it to their phone, their computer. They can put it anywhere.
I love it. I love it. Our buddy Alex has a question here.
For sure.
He says, out of all the big companies, NBA, Funko, Music, what do you think is which one is doing the best job?
That's a really good question. And I think there's a couple examples who are doing a good job of speaking this new language and getting into the space. And Arizona Iced Tea is one of them.
Wow.
I know this from being on Twitter. So again, I urge you guys to jump on Twitter, follow some hashtags and key accounts. And this is some info and like pressing news that everyone can see. But Visa was big into the game. They bought a CryptoPunk, which is an NFT, very high-priced one. And somebody that's more well-known that has companies of his own is Gary Vaynerchuk. He has Vayner Media, VaynerX, and now VFriends NFT. And he's doing extremely large things in the space, both monetarily and with community and awareness. And I'd say he's doing an incredible job. And to go off of one of the brands that he suggested there, Nike and Adidas have actually gotten into the game and started, toying around with NFTs and starting to acquire companies and things like that. So they're all playing, and I think it's too early to really say who's doing a great job, but I'll stick with my Gary V.
But Snoop Dogg just recently bought Death Row.
Great example.
Is now an NFT record label, right? So
exactly.
I think it's
he's looking to move things very heavily into the metaverse from the looks of it. And actually that might be a good place to do some research, is he's recently dropped some music NFTs onto OpenSea on the Polygon network. So for an example of what it looks like, how you can make it feel and be to your customer if you're a musician or artist, check out what Snoop Dogg and Death Row Records is doing on OpenSea and other platforms.
That is crazy.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a great example. I'm surprised that slipped my mind.
Okay, now the beginning. Who the hell created this?
Very good question. Now, I'm going to go out, not on a limb, but again, there's always very technical answers. Yeah. Do your own research. It's basically Ethereum that this is all built on. So the answer to that question is, who built the Ethereum blockchain? And that's Vitalik Buterin, if you've ever heard the name. Very young, I forget what country he's from, but he's a very young kid, English speaking, and he built Ethereum. And from there, all of these NFTs have been built on his network. And basically that's kind of the start to it. And a lot of these other blockchains are L2, which is layer 2 blockchains that are built upon L1, which is Ethereum.
Wow. That is crazy. I just love how, because you know what, Bam, you and I are too simple-minded. Like, we're like, Spotify's fantastic.
Well,
it can always be better.
It can always be better.
They're cutting everybody out. Fuck, this is great.
But the thing is, not to be a jerk, but I mean, from artist to consumer, people need to be cut out.
You
know
a
what
lot
I
of
mean?
people.
It can make that relationship a lot more organic, a lot less, voices in the conversation. So it becomes a lot more direct. And like we were talking about earlier, the value becomes a lot more attainable for both parties. There's not as much red tape and BS in between. So all of a sudden, things can happen a lot quicker, a lot smoother, sometimes a lot cheaper. Both parties can gain in that extra.
And there's some super fans that would love for you to know that I got your stuff. And they love to know. They're like, oh, okay, they know.
That's half of it. That's half of it, right?
Absolutely it.
It's like the fan trophy. It's almost like a badge. And again, just I've even had some early supporters in some of my first releases, and I mark my words, will remember those people and look back fondly, and in whatever sense, give them some value from whatever's created here. And there's nothing more special than that.
There you go, people. His first supporters, he just said it. He gonna see you. He gonna do something.
That's right.
Make this an NFT so he have to hold you. So you have to hold it back.
Let's go. Let's go. And I said that in an Instagram story today. I was just like, in the most humble way, just please don't bet against me, because I think this is a bet you'll lose in this space, because I'm just really determined. I'm really excited by what's going on in this space. And I really just am going to leverage this in some way. And again, deliver some of that value back to the people that saw my vision, believed in what I'm believing in, and just are ready for something new.
There you go.
So you say you make music for people. Is that what you do?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, break that down. What exactly do you do for someone? So if BAM came to you, what do you do?
So with this Space Monkey Fight Club NFT project, I'll walk you through what that process would kind of look like.
Yeah.
So you'd jump onto OpenSea, you'd go to our collection page, and we have some Space Monkey avatars. They're just monkeys with cool traits, and they're from basically derived from some lore of Fight Club, which is a movie by with Brad Pitt. And so exactly, everyone's seen it. It's cult classic. So a lot of the lore is derived from there. But you'd find a monkey that you kind of resonate with. You're like, yo, this is a cool avatar. I like this one. It speaks to me. And then you would purchase that monkey. And after that, like we talked about earlier, there's going to be some unlockable content. Through that unlockable content, you're going to access a custom song intake form in which you'll go through. You're going to go to our website, listen to some beats, find one that speaks to you, and you say, that's my beat. I want a song made on that beat. I want it made about this. I don't want anything to do with this in it. It's very comprehensive form that intakes all the information I'll need to really make that custom song. And you can even be a part of it. There's sections to add. I want to spit maybe verse 2. I want to do the hook, and we can incorporate that in. But it's all through this comprehensive form that we get the info that we need. And once it's submitted, I get a notification, bing, and I start working on that song the next day and start going through the motions, writing it out, go to a professional studio, record it, and then when it's finished, I mint that as an NFT, drop it to the corresponding wallet as the Space Monkey that was originally purchased, and now you have 2 NFTs, and you can do whichever, whatever you want with the song commercially. You could license it to other people. You could use it in your YouTube. You could use it however you see fit, and that's all you.
Okay.
So that's kind of the whole process from beginning to end. And in between that, there's always some community activity in our Discord, just getting to hang with other people that have purchased this same thing and that are vibing. And we got lots of resources in there too.
Is there any limits to how many NFTs you can create?
There is no limit, but with our collection, we've set a limit. So there is going to be a scarcity limit with Space Monkey Fight Club. There will only ever be 260 Genesis 1 Space Monkeys ever available. Okay. So there's a level of scarcity where once that's over, it's capped. Those VIP slots are closed. And again, say something very fruitful happens in my career, those are the people that are going to be able to benefit. And hopefully, there's some sought afterness, and people are looking to pick those tokens up maybe on secondary because they're like, darn, I missed the boat. I want what you have. And it makes up for some of that secondary market, and that's where that royalty comes in.
Dan, honestly, you get an email, someone buys a Space Monkey from you, the notes come up, they tell you what type of song you write. Were you ever stumped? Were you ever like, fuck my life situation? Was there ever one of those?
Fuck is this motherfucker?
To be honest with you, boys,
was there a decline button?
that was something I was nervous of going in. But through some of the motions I've gone through, I make promo songs each and every Friday, and I've been going for well over 20 weeks strong, I feel like. Just lots of songs each and every week, and they were about the most off-the-wall NFT projects, things that I didn't feel comfortable writing about, sometimes beats that weren't necessarily my first choice. And I'm biased, but I felt like I knocked them all out of the park and made something that's kind of corny sound cool, get people relating to it, and it's not forced. So the first song that we made through this project, a gentleman actually wanted a song about his mom to speak to how much she'd done for him in his life, to really be an ode to his mother and be like, I want to like present this to her and be like, you mean so much to me because you've done so much. And I thought that would be difficult, and it turned out to be a slapper. Like, I feel like anyone could listen to this song and be like, my mom's, whether here or, RIP, can feel this, and I want to sing it with pride. So there's no song I feel uncomfortable with, man.
Wow,
nothing.
That's good. That's good.
Confidently.
Like, fuck, I'm not doing
there was a
this
part of me, I thought it might be like that, and luckily it's not. I really feel confident with my pen game and writing about these.
That's good. That's good.
What some might say off the wall topics.
Because I would have just pressed refund. It would have been ding back in the. I'd be like, my bad, can't do this one.
Can't do it.
Another question here from Alex. He's asked, how do smart contracts get coded into an NFT?
So they're kind of built onto a smart contract. So it's kind of the technology, like that wizard I said, when you're filling it out, you're putting your content onto it. It's going to create a smart contract with your media on it. So the 1155 ERC that I referenced earlier is the smart contract it's built on. So you can go a step further as the creator and really set the stipulations for what you want to offer with your smart contract. And that's just the smart contract is basically the token and the means of tracking it and tracing it. It's the technology it's built upon.
Okay.
So you actually have the ability to make your own contractual agreement, shall we say, through you and the token holder by putting it in text or in video or in some form in that token. So as it travels around, the parameters of the agreement are right with the token. I hope that answers this question.
Alex is a smart guy. He's our tech guy, so
yeah, he'll figure it out.
You know what I mean?
Heck yes.
All right. What else? What's his other question? More specifically, how do you get paid if I sell an NFT on the secondary market?
Yeah, so kind of off that running off that smart contract, it's built right into that royalty. So you're setting it right out of the gate as you create it. So no matter where it changes hands, what wallet it ends up in, it's always tracing that royalty fee back to the creator's wallet through the smart contract.
Through the smart contract. So
now the royalty only stays to the original owner, right? The first person that created it.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay. Because that was another.
I believe you
that.
can change the wallet that it like gets actually sent to if you are again the collection owner. If you have the keys to the back end, we'll say. But yeah, there's only kind of like one wallet, the original, that it'll flip back to that royalty fee.
Right. So
we were talking shit about that last time. We had no idea what the fuck we were talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So if I bought yours for $10, I could sell it for $25. You still get your royalties. I can make a little something, and everybody happy. Blah blah blah. But I'm the one out of the fucking thing if you blow the fuck up.
It's the second. What I mean? Yeah, it's the second.
Yeah.
The next
exactly.
Now, Dan, music wise, how like you know what I mean? That's some big balls to say I'm going to create some songs for you. That's big balls. I do respect that. I couldn't pull that off. I couldn't even talk about it. Long as fucking sing and rap about it.
I have a difficult time writing my own fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Talk about music wise. How long were you like? How long you been into music, man?
Great question, and I appreciate you asking because, as I look back, it's 10 plus years. I always say 10 years, but I've been doing music as long as I can remember. From like a little tyke was making freestyle raps on a keyboard with my brother Robin, but semi-seriously or even semi-professionally as a full-time hobby for 10 years or so. And, always was consistent and felt like I was bringing really good content and quality. And you guys can, do your own research into my Spotify and check my music out and be the judge. But it was never really going anywhere in terms of on paper, not getting major label attention, not getting huge festival or show requests, things like that. And was just always trying to make ends meet like so many underground indie artists. Yeah. And that led me to NFTs, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trying
no,
to
I
get through
get
the
that.
smoke. Trying to get through the smoke.
That's exactly
hard.
it. It's a tough game out there.
It's because of the old guards. The old guards are still in charge. They got to get fucking ruined, and this NFT is getting rid of them. You know what I mean?
You're
It's the
right.
changing of
You're
the
right.
guards.
You're a
I
Honduran,
personally
man.
think it's because you have to act like a bozo these days and have some dumbass music and sing weird to get any type of attention. Even if
There
it's
is a bit
negative,
of that. It's what
drives
the
me nuts.
market's rewarding, right? And it's sometimes rewarding the wrong thing.
I agree.
But to Bam's point, sometimes that's because of what the guards are letting in and what they're forcing down people's throats in terms of what
That's
they're
what it is.
signing and things like that. So it's just a very messy game that I'm very happy to kind of step away from. Although I still use streaming platforms and am going to use them going forward and will always rely on some of those old methods. But now I have something new to lean on as a predominant primary source of income and awareness and engagement with my fans.
Now you mentioned that you can pick a beat. Who produced these beats?
Yeah, great question. And I'd love to give him some shine. It's
absolutely.
Hit a Beats from London, Ontario here. That's where kind of my whole team is. We're in Canada. We're really proud of where we're coming from because we don't get a lot of shine. This, small town, small city, London, Ontario, but Hit a Beats produced the entire first season, 52 beats, all slapping at Project LB52.com.
Boom, London.
That's crazy,
huh?
man.
I've
Congratulations,
been to
guys.
London. I had a good time in London.
It's a great spot. I mean, I'm proud to be from around here. I'm originally from Strathroy, an even smaller town. But,
Y'all
when
party
people-
hard. Y'all party hard with them
when
universities.
did you go to
That's
London?
it. We party hard for sure.
I was in London. for a minute. I was at the strip club,
Let's
boom, boom,
go.
boom. I want to know if the bouncer still got that badass fucking truck of his. You know what I mean? The fucking truck looked like
did
a
you
boat.
go?
There's always
Shit,
big
this
rigs
is
around here.
Fucking about 8-9 years ago.
Really? Was it invited? Huh, interesting.
No. I went down with someone else.
No, the old Bam invites me to, Dan. He invites me to go to places years ago. He goes like, "You want to come to Niagara Falls?" I said, "Yeah, I want to go to Niagara Falls." He's like, "Cool, man. Me and my girlfriend are going." I'm like, what the fuck is that? What do you mean?
I ain't coming.
You ain't got fuck you. Fuck that shit.
I was like, what? He's like, just come. I'm like, just either he was inviting me knowing I was gonna say no, or his brain process wasn't. Whatever.
Pretty much. No,
I don't know,
ain't
man. I
got-
don't know. But Dan, this is awesome, man. Congratulations on quitting
Appreciate
your fucking
it.
day job, man. Go for your dreams. You know what I mean? We
That's
work
it.
hard on the
You're-
podcast too. And
You're a
that's
brave man.
Oh, it is brave.
Quit-
It
Thank
is
you
absolutely-
so much.
Quitting the day job. Shit.
It's not easy, but I think it's going to be well worth it. And so far, the journey's just been fun, fruitful, and I'm loving every minute of it and looking forward to tomorrow. So until that ends, I'm going to keep going with it, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love hearing these types of stories because you know what I mean. People are scared. People are really scared. They dip their
Yeah.
toe in and then they back out a little bit.
Yeah.
Or they do it part time and they notice that the success rate isn't full time money, right? So it's tough.
Well, I mean, you got to think about what he said in the beginning, right? Because, like he said, he got in and he seen the community. So what he did was made himself be appealing to the community.
No, I'm gonna tell you, he has balls
the
because
language.
he's jumping in it. He's in the water first,
No, he
and he's
got
telling us
in.
to go swimming with him. So he's
He
leading
got
the
in.
pack. This is this is good.
He got in, but he made himself appealing to the community.
Absolutely.
And once he did that, it was over. You know what I
Exactly. Yeah,
mean?
that is a good point, Bam, because, like I keep saying, do your own research. And like part of it was I learned very quickly to speak the language of the space and really fit in with these people. And again, just vibe the way they were vibing with everything's decentralized. Let's support artists. Let's be honest. Let's be transparent. Let's put it all out there and let's all do what we're going to do regardless, which is hopefully succeed. And I just started really leaning into that. And like Bam said, offering some value, speaking their language. So again, if anyone's looking to get into the space, do some research, start trying to speak the language, get on their apps. And there's a lot of cool stuff to be learned out there.
Do you find that it's still something hard to explain to somebody? Do people, because you said your family look at you, you know what I mean? Your boss was like, is it something when you still sit down with them and they go, "Dan, what do you exactly do? Do you still find that they look at you like you're a little crazy, like they don't totally? We understand it a bit because we did do a bit of our research a few months ago when we want to talk about NFTs because it was new. You know what I mean? We didn't totally understand it, but we had an idea. Do you find it still being so new into the game and trying to explain it to someone? Like, because now it's like you have to get them to go somewhere else to buy your music.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
artwork,
There is
right?
a little bit of like a a resistance or a learning curve just because it's new things for people that they, like you say, sign up processes, new information. But overall, it's getting a lot easier and I think a lot more comfortable for me to explain it and for people to understand it. And I'm always finding better examples. And as it becomes a little bit more mainstream, people pick up on their favorite artists and celebrities trickling and mumbling in this world. And we're all a bit sheeple. So we go with the herd and the crowd. And as some larger entities start to, I have a Bored Ape or this type of NFT, it's all of a sudden then people are willing to take it serious or give it a little belief. And as those things happen, it's all just becoming easier. And with my family, my dad's an older guy. I almost just boil it down to, I basically make jingles and custom songs, but there's a crypto NFT kind of undertone and woven, again, technology conduit that we actually deliver it with.
I have to break it down with my dad. I'm like, I make money with my computer.
Yeah. I make money with the internet. I make magic beans.
This is fantastic. You know what I mean? Breaking down some other details isn't going to work so much. Nah. So Alex is like, other than your own NFTs, artists, is there any other NFTs that you would recommend?
For sure. I have quite a few in my wallet. I'm a collector as well as a creator. I've gone kind of head over heels into the world of also picking up other people's art. And again, speaking that language. And a way to do that is by supporting other artists. So there's some larger collections I'll refer to. And then hopefully I can remember a couple of smaller artists that, to look into. Some of the bigger projects that I'm involved in and like hold some of his sappy seals. These cute, chubby little seals, but just a wild community on Twitter. They come out in spades. I've never seen engagement like this in my life. Hundreds and, sometimes thousands of likes on posts just because you're a member of that community. And I'm dead ass serious when I say that. I can show you some proof.
Put my music behind one of those little things.
And somebody has done that already. The first Sappy Seal rapper. A homie of mine actually. And nice. Another project I'd recommend, a little bit lower in price point for somebody that's maybe, just starting out looking to get some lower price point collecting done, is Homie G's. So it's called the Ethereum Homies and they go by Homie G's. Very trendy, subculture trait. So a lot of people can find stuff they vibe with. And that again is very like modern and hype beast, all that type of stuff. But it's a little bit lower mint price and they're actually still minting now. So you can actually go to their site and purchase one for the lowest cost that they'll ever be, not on the secondary. And as far as like a one-of-one artist, somebody similar to myself, a little bit larger in stature, but Spotty Wi-Fi has been making music NFTs for quite a long time. You may have heard the name. Yes, I have. And he's made quite a bit of income from it and quite a bit of buzz. Snoop Dogg, I think, is on his trail now.
He's doing his thing, yeah.
Absolutely. And Famous Dill is another musician, NFT artist in the space that I got a lot of love for. He's doing some big things. So hopefully that, gives something to go off of, but just dive into Twitter. There's so many great projects out there. So many.
That is crazy. Because the first time I've ever heard of an NFT, it was something to do with the NBA memorable holograms or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? And it was something to do like a sports moment in a hologram 3D thing. And I was just like, huh? And it was getting sold for enough money too. And I couldn't wrap my head around it at the time. Again, new. It's hard, right? Yep. It's hard to be like, what, huh? What do people, it's not in front of you. It's where I couldn't, it was, that's the first time I ever heard of an NFT.
It's trippy at first, man.
Bam, have you ever heard of, what was the first time you heard of an NFT?
Well, I've heard about it, through people and everybody talking about it, but what really got my attention was Tory Lanez.
Oh,
that's who
great
got my
example.
Attention.
Great example.
He got my attention because everybody was trying to shut him down. You know what I mean? And he went and did an NFT and went. Poof. I was like, oh shit, fuck the world. You know what I mean?
Bam, you're so right because that was right along the time where he finally took power of his masters. He started doing his own kind of record label thing, and he launched that first NFT with a private platform that did 1 million in a minute.
Yeah,
in sales.
Insane.
Yeah, well, it literally he sold it for $1 or something.
Yeah, so
he made a million copies sold for $1
at $1, and then he's there
million
was
day one fans. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and some of those day one fans, and this was coming back to some of my prior points. Some of those day one fans were able to sell for like 10x, 20x that purchase price on secondary market. So
they win too.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. There's everybody wins, and of course Tori's not hating because there's a royalty baked in, and he'll see some of that sale as well. So he wants that fan to win. Like, why not? Financial freedom plus he gets a piece of it. Let's go.
There you go.
I'm glad you brought that example up.
No record label.
Wow.
No
powerful stuff, man.
No major studio. No
you know what?
It
actually,
team,
you know what?
Nothing.
Fellow Canadian too. So let's go, Tori.
It's exciting to hear shit like this. It's really, I see where you get it from now. I get it now. It's so cool.
Like I say, I don't sleep well.
I love that. No, it's yeah, because just hearing something like that, you know what I mean? If I told Bam's going to tell me I'm going to sell this for $1, I'd be like, you ain't going to make shit. But you're right. You know what I mean? And then the royalties afterwards, and they can make money. That's fantastic. I think
powerful stuff.
And now he can be at home at 50 years old, still making fucking money.
Yep.
Not the record
and
label.
you know,
depends how many Ferraris he buys.
Not the record label. Well, he can buy all the fucking Ferraris he wants, but he's still gonna be making money regardless. Not like
you're
the
right.
guy
You're right.
who got that big check in the beginning, bought the Ferraris, and
no,
that's it.
I
No
get
more
it.
checks,
I get it. But my argument with you is just because. See, you're talking about Tory Lanez. We know who he is. If Tory Lanez started his career this way, it wouldn't be 1 million sales. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Well, see, that's the potential I see in NFTs.
I see better. Do what I see with NFTs? You don't have to be a big enough, a super mega star to be making money. Because everything's cut out. That's what I see with NFTs.
You're going to have a slow start, regardless of the fact. You're going to have a slow start, and that's not a problem. You get a little fan base going. But like I said, once you cross that threshold, it's over.
I get it.
What I mean? You know?
But the thing is, you could still make some money on not being a fucking major superstar is what I'm saying. Where streaming on fucking Spotify.
Yeah, see, and to that point, Deuce, I actually did some math and made a post a little while ago. Like, for my own personal releases that have nothing to do with my Space Monkey Fight Club project, that's its own kind of collection. This separate collection, which was my offerings that I, tokenized my music. I've done 3.1 Ethereum in sales, and Ethereum's at, fluctuating from anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
So do the math there. It's a decent chunk of change that I've made. And if you check my streaming from my DistroKid or
that's right.
It doesn't shake a stick at it, man. So, and then I went one step further and did some math. How much streams would I need to make? Just call the number 10K.
Yes.
It's a disgusting number. And if I reverse engineer it, I'm actually boasting millions of streams worth of sales through NFTs.
Thank you.
3 million plus streams worth of sales. So again, reverse engineering it. You don't have to have a massive audience. You just need to be able to speak to the audience, to the Web3 community, and really get your offering and what's unique about you across. And I was able to do that so far, and hopefully I'm going to keep doing it. So there's room for others, man.
Yeah, and you still have all the other avenues to get people to come to it and buy it. You know what I mean?
I just love the math because the thing is, I was always, like I said, before this NFT stuff, I was always, go independent, do your thing. And then when I saw the streaming numbers, I almost puked. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, how the fuck do you even make money? Like, these people are working fucking 2 jobs and they're paying studio time and then, trying to grind and they pop out a music video to try to get more attention. And it's just, you see them stumbling, and it's not that they're not trying. There's just no income coming in, right? So as soon as I saw those streaming numbers, I said, fuck that, sign me to a label.
This is just another, torch to add into that fire. So no matter what you got brewing, what your main squeeze is right now, whatever your main breadwinner is, don't stop with that. Just start entertaining the idea of adding an NFT offering in that might complement what you already have going on.
I love it. I love it. Before having you on, I was on the fence. I'm always on the fence. I don't want to know more. But after the way you broke it down, like, I'm totally in. Like, an NFT now, that fuck the label and fuck independence. This is what I would tell the young cats to do now. This is the right way to do it.
I'm glad I could clarify some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
for sure.
Now I'm thinking of NFTs as collectors. Like you said, you're a collector. You're collecting for a particular reason. This person, that person, this, that, and the other, right? Because the monetary value of this is going to grow. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So how are you finding out who to grab? You know what I mean? Like, 'cause someone bought the Mona Lisa saying, "Oh, this is gonna fucking be the shit," because of the painter. You get what I mean? So
absolutely.
You have to navigate that situation? How do you navigate that situation?
Some advice there is probably the same stuff like that we all make our decisions off of, but really just boiling it down into like calling it what it is invest in the people. Don't always invest in the token or the art or like what you invest in the person behind it. So like, you know, sometimes early on in like VC investing, people are, you know, panning, trying to get that investment, that seed money, and they're really looking to have somebody invest in them, their idea, their energy. And usually that's how, you know, those big profit sharing go down the line in terms of a stockholder gets a big payout.
Right.
This is the same thing. So with NFTs, you're investing in the person, their idea, and where you think they can be. So my advice there would be sniff out people you think are doing great things. Good call. People that have great energy, people that maybe it's not today that they're incredibly fruitful in terms of a monetary sense, but you are confident and believe in a year, in 2, in 3, there's some sort of a kickback, and you can't maybe call it a 10 or a 20, but you know you believe in this person. And I think invest in the person first, and the rest will kind of fall into place.
Okay.
And the thing is, you can always push it, Bam. You can always mention him, you know, on the air here. So you go follow my boy, and then your NFT can be worth a little bit more.
See, and that is what's really unique about the community. I know everyone always says that word, and sometimes, like, even my old man was like, what does that mean, though? That's a great example that you just brought up, Deuce, is that those holders are inclined to push it. They're inclined to talk good about it. They're inclined to tell their friends and family, yo, check out what I got. It's worth this much, and it's going up. Because it builds to the awareness, it builds to the hype, and all of a sudden, it literally benefits them and the favorite artist and the person they're a fan of. So it's kind of a perfect fire and storm for it to just grow organically and spread the right way and not be forced. It's literally everyone that buys is hopefully your biggest spokesperson and your best review.
He's 100% right, because I prefer to do that than buy Bitcoin and look at my shit every day and be upset lately. And I can't do anything about it. You know what I mean?
Be a little more active, for sure.
I can do a little bit more. You could persuade. You can add to it. I like that, and that's the difference. I really, really do like that, because you bought something. You're kind of proud and you want to push it. So I'm down with that.
Yeah, and it becomes an experience too. Everyone can get online and feel like they're a part of something. You're a part of the team. We're pushing it forward. We're gonna get this thing to the moon. That's where a lot of those sayings come from. To the moon, because everyone's so gassed up on a mutual idea. And hopefully that idea becomes Space Monkey Fight Club, and we literally take those space monkeys to the moon.
So where can people find you, Dan?
For sure. I'm all over streaming platforms and social media at Dan the Lost Boy, myself personally. And the project is www.projectlb52.com, and all social media at Project LB52. And if you're looking for, the NFTs, they're all in our links in our bios, but you can go to OpenSea and search Space Monkey Fight Club, and we'll be there.
That's dope, man. Dan, thank you for reaching out, man. It was something I always wanted to get clarified, was the NFTs. And you actually kissed when you're like, hey, man, how's it going? And then we were talking on Instagram. I told Bam, yo, we're getting this guy on immediately. I need to know more about this. I love this, man.
I'm so grateful for the opportunity, guys. And honestly, great vibes on the show. Love what you're doing here. And
definitely.
Half the battle is being comfortable when you're chatting to be able to provide some good knowledge and information. And I hope I did that here today.
Oh, man, for sure, man. I appreciate your time, bro. And you know what? We'd definitely love to have you back on, bro.
Absolutely. I would love that.
I'm sorry for all the guests that were on before, but look, the man came with gear. With a mic and headphones. My type of guy. That's what I like.
Let's go.
He knows what he's talking about. Dan, man, such a pleasure, bro. Stay on. We're going to get out of here, guys. Everyone, thank you for listening, man. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Much love.